Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the CW20 for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Hardman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A warm, albeit gray Friday to end the week. We have our eyes on the weekend, though, and what's in store.
Yeah, with fall fairs underway and, of course, other weekend plans to make. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast. Rach?
Yeah, I don't think this weekend is going to win any beauty contests. I think both days feature a lot of clouds, and there could be a couple spotty light showers, but you still should be able to sneak in those outdoor plans and activities. Here is what is left of Helene, and it's no longer a tropical storm. It's just a regular area of low pressure, meaning winds are not a concern, but this storm is still dumping a ton of rain. But this system is stationary. It is not coming our way. However, there is a front nearby, and at times this weekend it'll kind of toy with us, coming closer, backing farther away, and that's why we think we're kind of right on the edge of some of that moisture. Okay, the radar is in hypersensitivity mode. It's clearly not raining across the state, but I did want to show you the future radar as we head towards early tomorrow. This is one of our guidance that is showing more showers and more wetter conditions than the rest, with a damp start to the day, but overall mostly dry but mostly cloudy with high temperatures in the 70s. So overnight lows will be right around 60 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow at the Durham Fair, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. And again, there is a chance for a light patchy shower or two. We'll take a closer look at the weekend forecast and when showers and more meaningful rain moves in later next week coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, millions of Americans tonight are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. About 24 hours ago, Helene made landfall in the southeast.
Now at least 44 people are dead across 5 states. Let's take a look at what it looked like in Crystal River, Florida today. The actual river is an inlet of the Gulf of Mexico. And one family whose house flooded lives a mile from that river. Their house has never flooded from a hurricane before, but it did this time. The Citrus County Sheriff's Office says it rescued more than 100 people.
And then take a look at this video. Dozens of patients and hospital workers were stranded on the roof of a hospital. This was in Irwin, Tennessee. Floodwaters from a river were rising around the building. At first, it was too windy and dangerous to fly in rescue helicopters. So rescue crews and boats pulled 7 people to safety before the helicopters could safely fly in. 54 additional people were then rescued.
And in North Carolina, 15 people were injured and 14 buildings damaged when a tornado touched down in Rocky Mount, about 60 miles east of Raleigh. 4 of the injuries were considered serious. Today, Governor Ned Lamont deployed the Connecticut Urban Search and Rescue Team to North Carolina, a team of 8 people consisting of state and local volunteers who are specially trained in search and rescue, departed tonight and are expected to be there for 7 days. And this isn't the only group from our state stepping up to help. Tonight, Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc talked to some of those answering the call.
From the Salvation Army to AmeriCares to the National Guard, so many people are stepping in to help after Hurricane Helene, whether from Connecticut or across the country.
We are in Florida outside of Tallahassee. We're making our way into Perry, where the bulk of the hit was taken.
Michelle Hartfield with Salvation Army Southern Territory heading into areas hit hardest by Hurricane Helene.
We will be providing meals, snacks, water, and then we have trained emotional and spiritual care specialists that go out and help.
While members of Connecticut Salvation Army haven't been deployed, they're ready to step in once people like Hartfield get a better look at the devastation.
A lot of them just need someone to listen. They're processing what they've experienced, and so we get to do that with them.
Teams with AmeriCares in Stamford also on standby as others from the organization dive into different flood zones.
We're just now hearing from partners about damages, but as everyone can see, there's lots of flooding, lots of power outages. Some partners are already reporting damage to roofs.
Kennedy Caskey and her team are health focused, getting survivors medications they need and restoring health infrastructure.
So we'll be working with clinics to replenish medicine, medical supplies, rebuild different clinics if they've been damaged.
And right here at home, the Connecticut National Guard deploying out of Windsor Locks Friday morning, headed straight for North Carolina.
We sent one CH-47 Chinook helicopter along with 5 soldiers to go down.
A call Major Mike Wilcoxon says the Connecticut National Guard hasn't answered since 2018 during another hurricane, but it's one he says they're prepared for.
This is something that we look forward to doing. We look forward to helping the states in any way we can, when we can.
We're also learning the Red Cross has sent down 7 volunteers to Florida to help open up shelters for the thousands of people who cannot make it back to their homes. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. We have breaking news in Waterbury tonight, where police say a 14-year-old boy was hit by a car. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. It happened just after 7 p.m. on Watertown Avenue. Police say the boy was hit in the road by a car. The driver and passenger, both in their 70s, were not hurt, and we're waiting to find out what led up to that crash. Watertown Avenue is closed between Kaner Drive and Madeline Avenue, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Vernon police believe they've tracked down a teen who's been making threats against local schools, churches, and other places. A 17-year-old girl is accused of swatting and making bomb threats around the state. Police say her parents didn't know this was going on, but investigators don't believe she acted alone. In fact, she's allegedly a co-conspirator of a cyber criminal group known as 764. The Ellington Historical Society says they received a bomb threat via email.
They actually hacked into an innocent person's email and sent the email from as if it was from this woman. The threats were obviously not real because of the way they were written, but it still uses all these resources. We had to call the police has to investigate, but at least as a result, they got to the bottom of who's really behind it.
It's not yet clear if the teen will be prosecuted as an adult. She'll be in court in Rockville next week.
North Haven police are clarifying their plans to trap feral cats. Animal control officers were planning to round up stray cats that are causing problems around town. Earlier today, Animal Control posted on Facebook that starting Monday, outdoor cats found near Vineyard Road would be trapped, held for a week, and then humanely euthanized if no one claimed them. Well, after pushback from the community, they've deleted that post, and now North Haven police say nonprofits in the area will step in to help get the cats adopted.
Some disappointing news here. Craig's Kitchen in Vernon is closing its doors.
In an interview you'll only see here on Fox 61 tonight, the owner spoke with Kay Pattyfoot about his decision to close the restaurant.
Craig's Kitchen was known for its soul food and giving back to the community. But after 7 years, Craig Wright tells me it all became too much. A once busy restaurant is now empty with remnants of what used to be.
You know, we had a lot of good times and we had a lot of down times.
Craig Wright opened Craig's Kitchen on West Main Street back in 2017. A convicted felon, Wright found solace in the kitchen, and for the last several years, he shared that with the community, staying open on the holidays and feeding hundreds of people for free.
I've been here since yesterday. I never went home. I've literally been here all night just to make sure everything goes right.
But eventually, Craig says it became too much, and 2 months ago, he decided to close the restaurant.
For the last 7 years, I've worked 100 hours at least a week.
Wright says social media, the pandemic, and inflation all played a hand in closing.
I remember back in 2019, let's say the price of a case of oil was $20. Today, that case of oil is at least $50, $55. And that's just food. We ain't talking about the utilities. We're not talking about now minimum wages went up, so you have to pay employees more. And everything has went up, and you can only raise your prices for your customers so much to try to cover it.
He closed down Craig's quietly, waiting until now to give an update.
I felt shame. When you fall, I kind of felt like I fell on my face. And I really, for a lack of a better term, I didn't really want to face the music.
Wright now spends his days working at a retirement home as a food service director and says he lives every day knowing he was able to achieve his dream of owning a restaurant.
That's why I don't feel like a failure. No matter the past 7 years, no matter what we've been through, it doesn't matter, because at this point going forward, I was able to change my life. My family is very proud of me. I was able to get my record expunged, and the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
Craig said the closure of his restaurant isn't a goodbye forever, but he wants to give his space to someone who wants to get into the industry. In Vernon, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.